Okay, now we're going to focus on the painting lesson. And this is going to be a good thing to do. If you think it's difficult using watercolor, you're going to find that acrylic can be challenging as well, but it's also very satisfying when you practice. So this is the whole composition that I made. And actually I ran it through my printer and I made a copy of it. So why do I say that? Because once you have a design, you can make multiples of it and you can use it over and over. This one is just for the purpose of labeling, and I'm going to make this image available for your assignment to refer to. But in each block for this assignment, I'm going to have you practice a couple of concepts. Number one color, monochromatic, and only in the negative shape or space, negative space. And I'll explain what that means with my other example. Number 2, you're going to do the same thing you did over here, monochromatic, one color. That's what monochromatic means. And you're going to do it here and here and here. Okay? So I've already done that. In this other composition, and when I say negative, that means the area that isn't your subject. That means this space and this space. So I really want you to learn the idea of working in the negative, okay? I went ahead and I added a light and a medium to all 4 of my little compositions within the composition. And in this one, as you can see, the subject matter is changed. In this one, it's all the same, and I use that transfer technique. But in this one, the second thing that I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with a clean brush. After I have the light and the medium, or I should say the light, the light medium, and the medium values throughout in one color, I'm going to go in, and on this one I added a second primary, and that primary is red. And I started this one quickly in my period 6 class. I'm going to continue. In this one I'm going to use the second primary that I have available, and that one's going to be yellow. And I'm going to use a technique called overlay to show you how they change. So, looking at using my tray to make my paint, and my tray is a little bit dirty, but I'm going to use my yellow, and I'm going to get my paint started over here. Again, it's not perfect, fresh. I'm going to use a couple of yellows. I'll use this one too, because one's a little bit cooler than the other one. One's warm. And I'm going to put some yellow in some of the white areas that I have. But I'm also going to have some yellow overlay what I already have. And I'm going to start to paint in some yellow washes. You'll notice I'm still leaving some of the area, some of my composition white, because white is a value. And I actually wish that I had done a little more blue, which I might do afterwards. But I want to show you what you get when you paint the yellow on top of the blue after it's dry, so you can see what I want you to work with. Do you see how some of the areas have now become green? That's a form of mixing, which I call overlay. Because watercolor is translucent, the color that's underneath the first color shines through when you place the second color on top. Likewise with this red over here, I'm going to show you that quickly and go back. And I think I'm going to put some red over here on top of this. obviously if I have my red is more saturated when I put it on, I'm going to get less of an overlay and less of that purple. But just try it out. See how it works out for you. See, work slow, take your time. Some areas I'm using, in the white, it's going to be straight red. Some areas I'm going to leave straight blue, and some areas I'm going to have that overlay. I don't want to overlay the whole thing because then I'd lose my first color altogether. I want to keep things varied. It's all about variety, right? Variety's the spice of life. All right. And I could continue, or I could say, yeah, that looks good to me. I think I'll stop there. In this one, I'm going to let you do whatever you'd like. If you have some colors that you really think, ooh, that one's cool, I want to use that. Or I want to use a few colors. Maybe I want to use 4 or 5 colors and just see how they all look when they're together in one composition. You can do that. I kind of had my eye on this green over here, but I think I'm going to overlay it a little bit. So I'll have some that is straight and some that's blue, and I'm just going to have fun experimenting. So once this is all done, the whole thing, that will be your final composition for Friday. But you don't have to redraw it. You can work right on it until you have everything the way you want it. Okay? So I hope you like trying these techniques, and I hope you find them interesting and a different way to use your watercolor sets to mix, notice that's in air quotes, overlaying color to make new color.